Welcome back everyone, and today we're gonna look at the new buildings that came with the new DLC that we're currently testing. And as you can see, there's quite a few new things. As I mentioned before, this DLC bringing up a lot of different new things that changing many aspects of the game, and the game pretty much feels like a completely different one. So, before we start looking at the different buildings, I want to mention some changes to the old ones that affect the game. One of the most important things that changed a lot in the game is these three buildings that I don't know about you, but I used relatively regularly for different builds or whatnot, and now situation changed. This building's not gonna work unless they are plugged in. So we can't store any more food in the fridge unless it's plugged in into the power. Same with smart storage. Same with automatic dispenser. It's not gonna let dupes load anything in unless it's plugged in. So we can mark and you see it's unavailable. However, if we plug everything in and select all, sweep only, we're gonna see how Catalina is coming. Catalina is coming. Gonna see how Catalina is coming and finally putting the resources in there. There we go. Same goes with the smart storage. See, now it's available, and now Catalina can come and finally load it up. And same goes with the food. Now we see it's available. Another interesting change I noticed with this version of the game, is power consumption. They take less now, so that's good. And you can get away with just one with less amount. As before, we had to build multiple dispensers to accommodate multiple dupes, dropping off different things in it at the same time, because it seemed like it worked the way just one dupe per one dispenser per one task. Now, if you schedule multiple sweeping commands, it will allow to have multiple dupes come and use it. So you can get away with just one. You can play with automation and have the same thing where it's only going to work certain time of the day where it will allow actual sweeping. Now we are moving to the actual new buildings, and the first one will be Sublimation Station. This is a new piece of equipment that we can find in oxygen tab, which generates oxygen. And let's look at the description. Whoopsie daisy, keep turning up. Greatly increase the sublimation rate of solid materials. Useful in converting polluted dirt into polluted oxygen. Become idle when the area reaches maximum pressure capacity. So that's pretty self-explanatory. It's going to take polluted dirt at the rate of 100 grams per second with the power of 60 watts, and it's going to convert it into 660 grams of polluted oxygen at least 30-degree temperature or hotter, depending on the materials that being put in. And it can be built out of regular metals, steel, thermium, niobium, and it produces polluted oxygen. However, right now I noticed a little problem with that. That the Sublimation Station have a little issue where it becomes overpressured. Well, right now I have a high pressure over here, but even with the lower gas pressure surrounding the Sublimation Station, it often will reach the max gas pressure point. I believe this is a known issue and being addressed right now, but so far it's kind of a little buggy. Next, we are moving to a couple of those guys. Those are rocket gas ports. They will be used to service our rockets to transfer liquids or gases, or there's another one for solids in and out of the rocket. They have the ports on them, depending on what kind of rocket gas port it is. But it should be built next to the rocket platform. We're gonna look at it in a little bit. Now, this is a sludge press, which quite an effective building on the starting biome, considering that it has a lot of polluted dirt, mud, and polluted mud. So you can process mud into dirt and water. Same goes with polluted dirt. You can convert polluted dirt, mud into polluted dirt and polluted water. And as a description of the building, we can see it separates mud and other sludges into their base elements. Duplicants will not fabricate items unless recipes are required. So it consumes 120 watts, and it's quite interesting building. It has a liquid output, so you can store liquids wherever you want, and it also has some automation, so you can automate the process as you want. So next building is Oxygen Mask Station. Um, just want to give fair warning. At current state, it's quite buggy and it's not working exactly the way it's supposed to. It's constantly refilling the mask, so far it's kind of buggy, but it's a really cool idea that I see a good use in future. So let's look at it. It uses designated metal ores for filter settings to create oxygen mask. Automatically draws and embed oxygen to fill masks. Marks as threshold where duplicates must put on or take off a mask can be rotated before construction. It will supply oxygen and polluted oxygen and take 60 watts. So it's very similar to the atmosphere docks with the atmosphere checkpoint, but this is all together only once. So as it said, you can select the metals that's going to be used to create the gas masks, and once it's activated, we can see right now. So Catalina is going to supply it, and this is going to act as a checkpoint. So when there you go, she passed, and she has a little mask on her. As she having the mask on, she can breathe obviously in any atmosphere. It does not reduce the effects of the temperatures of the environment, such as water or whatever. So it just given ability to breathe. So this is pretty convenient. Oh, I think this is. Oh no, I thought it's. Nope, I thought it got fixed. But as you can see, oxygen masks are being dropped right now. I don't think it's working correctly just yet. She picked it up. Maybe it's being fixed. But anyhow, you can see that this is a pretty interesting building. It sucks up at its current state. It sucks up a lot of oxygen because it never stops filling up those masks. But I can see a really good use of that building in the future when it's dialed up a little better. So this is rocket solid port and is similar to the liquid and gas. It helps load and unload solids through the conveyor rails. Next, and it also consumes 480 watts as all of those ports, they consume 480 watts. I forgot to mention that. Next, we're going to telescopes, and space telescopes got a big overhaul. It's working completely differently now. So, line of sight is much smaller. I believe it has only 5 tiles wide line of sight, and it has very limited range in terms of the star map. So, and I gotta look at it in a little bit later, but This is similar to a telescope. It does not have any oxygen supply to it, so dupes will have to wear either a mask or atmosuits, and it has to be placed outside on the surface of the asteroid in the space. Next, the most exciting part is the rocket platform. And this building lets us build the rockets. So now we don't have to build every module separately. We can put just the rocket platform here, and that's all. From here, you build the rocket from that platform where you select what kind of modules you put on it, and you supply the materials and build it there. And the last one is a little bit of a mystery. It's called Payload Opener. I, frankly speaking, were not able to figure out how this thing works. From the description, it says that it unpacks high-velocity payloads delivered by duplicates and automatically separates solid, liquid, and gas materials and distributes them to the appropriate systems. So this is something that will be used with rockets, where it will take the loads and separate them. I'm not sure. I still trying to figure it out. I so far weren't able to. And as I mentioned before, this is an alpha build. There's a lot of things that are still in testing and being worked on, dialed in, and a lot of things are buggy and not working. So let's look closer at a couple of the space things. So first, we can see the rocket. And here we have already set a rocket, but let's get rid of this. And we're gonna see how to build a brand new rocket. So as I mentioned, well, actually, let's get rid of all of that. We will have to put the rocket platform. This is gonna be our starting build. And see, we select new rocket, and here we have all the options. I have a sandbox on, so everything available, but again, depending on the materials and research, some things that will be restricted. Currently, we have two choices for engines. It's carbon dioxide engine, and you can see all the description and characteristic for that, and sugar engine. As I understand, sugar engine currently having better potential range, and potentially it's more effective. So and then it's just you just plug and play. You select the modules and you build. As you can see, you can build out of regular metals. Boom, we got the engine. Next we want to put some modules. I don't know, let's put small oxidizer, and we will have to have it. And there's the first thing we can see here. There are two options that are available, is oxalite and fertilizer. Fertilizer can be used for the oxidizer material. So you select whatever material you want to use. See, sucrose is being delivered into the sugar engine. Sucrose can be produced by the bugs. A small oxidizer tank will take either fertilizer or oxalite. Once it's filled up, then we can put something else. Let's put the Trailblazer module, and then we can put a spacecraft module. And on top of that, we're gonna put hold on, let's move it down. It also comes with really cool animation, as you just noticed. And on top of that, we're gonna put a basic nose cone. Boom. So now spacecraft module is gonna be the module where you're gonna keep the crew of the rocket. And this is the most interesting part. You can build inside of that module. So you will have to plan ahead. What do you wanna do in here? You wanna have some bedrooms. You wanna have some generators or something. If you wanna put, I don't know, a hamster wheel, a mess tables, or I don't know, thermoregulator for some reason. You're gonna build it, you're gonna fill the storage, and your duplicant's gonna stay here for the time of the travel. Then let's look at the actual launch sequence. This Trailblazer module will require duplicants to deliver materials and build this actual kind of module that will be used by them to drop on the planet that doesn't have a rocket platform. So this is kind of like a launching platform. Rockets can travel between platforms. They can take off from one and land on another one. And if it comes on orbit of the rocket, of the planet, I'm sorry, and a planet doesn't have a platform, the Trailblazer module will be deployed so Duplicant can land on the planet. But then to get back, you will have to build a rocket platform. So let's say we got everything ready and we want to go. So first we'll have to change the crew mode where as you can see, description pretty easy. So all duplicants may enter. All duplicants may enter an exit module freely until the rocket is ready to launch. Before launch, the crew will automatically be requested. So you put it on auto. Then you have to follow through with the checklist. And there we go. So we can see here's the rocket speed. This is the range remaining depending on the fuel. All the characteristics summed up. And here's the launch preparation checklist. So we currently have too many modules. Destination is not selected. And crew is missing. Who's the crew? We don't have anyone for crew. So let's, oopsie, Daisy. Let's tell Harold that he's gonna be our astronaut now. And you can also see there are 2 additional skills that goes after astronomy, and so far as just the placeholders. They will be because the functions are not utilized yet, but they will be additional traits and additional functions that will be performed by duplicants who have this tier of skills. So Harold now is our astronaut. We can change to him being a crew member, so he can he ran somewhere else. Ada, and well, for some reason he's not going. But once he's ready, well, it's not letting me to change to launch because as we saw there it was saying it was alarming us there's too many modules. So let's get rid of this. Hopefully it's gonna let us. Okay, destination is not selected, so let's select the destination. And here I opened the map so we can see some other things around, and we have destination. We can push launch. So now okay, it changed to launch in progress status, but it then switched back because we're still missing the crew, I believe. As I said, it's still a little buggy, and it takes a second, and it's gonna take a couple of days. However, Klei has been working tirelessly to fix the things and releasing couple patches every day on some days. And this week they released on Monday, they released a huge patch fixing a lot of different things. So as I said, problems gonna happen, and we're gonna just have to be a little patient. Then, as I mentioned, the telescopes are working a little bit differently. So now when it starts working, anyone? Harold is coming. So as he starts researching, it goes fairly easy, but it's gonna open up the tiles around the planet, and it's limited to the certain radius. I want to say like 3 or 4 tiles around, and it's just gonna open up one by one. Once it opens the radius around the planet, it's done. You can't see anything further. Usually you will be able to see fully explored. As you can see, all spaces that you can see has fully been explored. That's it. You can actually get rid of it because you're not gonna see anything. Then after you go to different planet, you can put the telescope here and continue research from here. Uh, Also, you can research by just flying around on your rocket, jumping between the planets. So here we see different asteroids, and different asteroids gonna have different things on them. So on the initial asteroid, on the starting asteroid, we're gonna have just the water source, and probably that's it. I don't think this particular map has any sort of geysers. Yep, this asteroid doesn't have anything. I don't know if it's a bug or intentional, but this map doesn't have one. Other map I'm playing right now has a cold slash geyser, and they were fixed recently. But once you flew uh, to another planet, you can actually uh, get more things. So this rocket will has aluminum and gold volcano. As you can see, it has new ores. So this is radium, and this is really interesting ore that we still yet to learn more about. And this is bit of finery. So that's the bees gonna come from here. I don't think they're working just yet, but allegedly bees are gonna be enriching uranium in those biofineries. Bees are hostile, as I mentioned in previous video, and gonna die after attacking a duplicate. So we can collect resources from here and load them into the rocket using appropriate rocket port. So in this case, this is a gas port. Once you build it next to the rocket, let's see. Come on. Oh gosh. Once you build it next to the rocket and connect it to the source of gas, as you can see, and it's not, oh, the power. I forgot the power. Okay, now it's still not filling it up. I swear it just worked. But as I mentioned, this is an alpha and things are not always working properly. And then it died. So you fill up the rocket, you fly back to your home base, home planet, you unload the rocket with that rocket solid port, and you can also put them on looping round trip, so you can animate that where rockets will be automatically loaded, unloaded, and flying back and forth without you needing to interfere. Rocketry, I feel like, is at the very beginning stage and still has a lot of things that are not working as it needs, as it intended to be, and as it going to be later. So this is the promising part about the current DLC. And as I said, the things are gonna be changed, the things gonna be readjusted, new elements gonna be added, and balances gonna be tweaked a little more, and potentially we're going to see more and more things working better, properly, and as it wanted to be by the developers. Anyhow, that is all I wanted to show you for today. This is the new buildings that the coming with the new DLC, and hopefully it helped someone. If you liked it, please leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike, but please leave a comment. Tell me what I didn't like, and I'll try to fix it next time. If I earned your subscribe, that's really, really awesome. And I hope I'll see you again. Everyone stay cool. Take care.